Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Back with another video. We'll be talking about the latest on Gyokeres, the update from Fabrizio Romano. Real Madrid have revealed how much they want for Rodrygo, but will Arsenal pay that money alongside signing Madueke as the end Gyokeres? We'll talk about that one as well. There's teams from Turkey that are pushing to sign Trossard, so might he be the one that is going to be sacrificed for us to have a new winger? It could be. So we'll be talking about all that and a couple of more. So let's start with Gyokeres. Fabrizio says Viktor Gyokeres' deal remains ongoing with the two clubs maintaining their position on transfer fee. No chance for Gyokeres to show up for training. He's already informed Sporting about that, only Arsenal. So nothing has changed there. He only wants Arsenal, as we know. No other team is currently in for him. But obviously, we want this player to be in before preseason. Now, the team has already traveled to Spain today to start with their preseason training. And then they'll be back in England, and they'll travel to Asia for the preseason tour of Singapore and Hong Kong. So we have to be quick. We would have wanted Gyokeres to be there for this preseason training. Nogard will be there, and Kepa will be there, and Zubimendi will be there, and a few of the other players who are injured are there as well, the likes of Gabriel and Timber. So that is good news, but you'd have wanted Gyokeres to be part of that because that is a very important position for us. That is the one position that every single Arsenal fan wanted. So that is the player that we'd have wanted to be in, even, fast and there for preseason. But at the moment, there's nothing that has happened there. We are still, want to pay that 56 million, 65 million package, euros package, but Sporting want more than that. And the president is not budging. The Sporting president is not budging. He said, it's either you pay this money or I'm not going to sell him. So I do agree with him. Gyokeres is a very, very good player. If I owned a team that had Gyokeres, I'd not be selling him for anything less than 80 million pounds. Why would you let him go when he's been scoring 100 goals the last 2 seasons? I wouldn't do that. So if you want Gyokeres, you have to pay the money for him. We've already basically agreed everything else. We're going to be paying 200k a week. He's already agreed to join us. So you even have an idea of which number he's going to be wearing at Arsenal. You already have a spot for him. Like, literally everything's done. He's given up his own salary to push for a move to Arsenal. Sporting already looking for other strikers to sign. It should basically be done. It's just the money thing. I'm sure if there's an agreement that is reached, it's going to be done very quickly, and the medical will be done, and will join up with the team. Now, hopefully that is very soon. I think I heard that Gyokeres has been on, I think he's still on holiday. I don't know if he's still there today, but I think as of now, he might be just waiting for Arsenal to get the deal done so that he can be able to travel to England and to Spain, maybe to join up with the team there, or wait for them in England and join up with them for the preseason tour of Asia. So let's see what happens with that one. Hopefully, we do get a breakthrough very soon. Now, what's the latest on Rodrygo? Now, according to reports, Real Madrid want 100 million euro package for Rodrygo. Arsenal and 2 other European clubs want the player. So 100 million euros is, let me just confirm how much that is in pounds. That is 86 million pounds. That is a lot of money. Now, I would like to believe that there is no way that Arsenal are able to pay 66 million for Eze and still pay, more than 60 million for Gyokeres, and still pay 55 million for Zubimendi, and still pay 50 million for Madueke, and still pay 86 million euros for Rodrygo. I don't think that is possible. And we've not even added the rest of the other deals, Kepa and Mosquera and Nogard. All these others are deals as well. So there's no way it's possible. That's almost more than 300 million, right? That is too much money. So actually, we can just calculate real quick. So 86 million, if we add that to the 55, I know some of them are installments, you're not going to pay them right away, but that is a lot of money. There's no way you can going to get all of those deals done all at once. There's just absolutely no chance. So yeah, that is way more than 300 million. If you add the other 3 players that you've signed, you're talking about close to 400 million. So I don't think that is going to be possible. You're going to have to choose. Even getting 2 out of the 4 is very difficult. If you want 3 out of, if you want more than that, it has to be 3 out of 4. You can't get all 4 of those players. Either you choose. Gyokeres is a non-negotiable. He has to be in the team. I think for me, Ez is a non-negotiable as well. I would love Rodrygo to be a non-negotiable as well, but I think it's going to be a case of getting either Rodrygo or Madueke. I don't think you can get both of them, because that 50 million you're going to spend on Madueke, it's either you add an extra 20 million to that and get get Rodrygo, or you get Madueke. That's just the case. I don't think it's possible to get both of them. I just don't think it's possible. So that is a lot of money, 100 million euros, and you've not even talked about how much he's going to want in wages. There's talks of him wanting more than 300,000 per week. So that would be a very expensive deal to get done. And to get it, usually when teams sign a player like this, they don't do any other business in the transfer window, maybe one more player. So for us to get a player like Rodrygo and still get 5 others, 6 others, I don't think that is a possibility. So they'd have to like not sign Madueke or decide not to sign Eze and decide to also sell a couple of players from the team. There's links with Trossard and Martinelli leaving Arsenal. There has to be something like that for us to get all of these deals done, because 100 million is not going to be easy to get done. That is a lot of money. And the other thing is, do you guys think Rodrygo is worth that 86 million, or do you think that is too much money? We should be going for someone else. So yesterday we were told that Arsenal looked at Lookman and looked at Gordon and looked at players like Morgan Rogers, and they felt like it was too much money. Would they look at Rodrygo and feel like it's too much money as well, and they would prefer to go for a different winger? Maybe they already knew that, and they just decided to go for Madueke because they know they're not going to afford Rodrygo. I don't know, but 100 million package. So it's going to be something plus add-ons, so I don't know what the structure would be. But yeah, that is the kind of money they would want. For me, I don't think it's possible if you're also getting all these players. It's just not possible. Now, Ed Aaron says, Arsenal are confident on renewing Ethan Nwaneri and are set to step up their efforts to sign Eberichi Eze from Crystal Palace. So we would have wanted all these deals to be done before preseason as well, but again, there's no chance all of these games are going to be signings are going to be done before preseason. I don't think there's a way Arsenal are going to sign Gyokeres and give Nwaneri a new deal and sign Madueke and sign Eze all in the next 10 days. I don't think that is possible. So priority is obviously Gyokeres. That is the one we want to be done. Obviously, people would say forget about Madueke, but it's looking like Madueke is going to be an Arsenal player unless Chelsea rejects the offer. So I'm confident with Nwaneri signing a new deal. I'm 60% confident with Eze being an Arsenal player, 90% confident with Gyokeres being an Arsenal player. But for Rodrygo, it's like 25% that is going to be an Arsenal player, mainly because of the money and the fact that we're spending the money on the other players. Now, if Arsenal are able to spend 400 million in one transfer window, that would be absolutely crazy, because I don't think it's possible. I don't think there's any teams that usually spend that kind of money. That would be absolutely crazy if we're in a position that we can spend all that money. That would be insane. So hopefully the Eze one can push through, because now Tottenham have gone for Kudus and Gibbs-White. They're not going to be coming back for this one. Liverpool have already signed Vats. Chelsea have a lot of midfielders in that area. It's, again, for both Eze and Gyokeres, at the moment, the coast is clear for us. We can get both of them right now if you wanted. It's all about money. And for Eze, because what Tottenham have done with Gibbs-White, they've activated the release clause and it's done. So if Arsenal wanted Eze today, we can just go and activate the 68 million release clause today and we get him tonight. But Arsenal don't want to do that. Arsenal want to negotiate. They want to drop it down to 50 million or something and maybe have it in 3 installments. So that will always take time. They're not going to, Crystal Palace are not going to want to sell their best player that cheaply. So you're going to have to pay the money to get a player like Eze. Next up is Trossard. Now, there's news on Trossard. According to reports, Fenerbahce has reached a preliminary agreement with Leandro Trossard, and the side now positively continues to negotiate a fee with Arsenal. So there's a big chance Trossard is going to be leaving Arsenal. Again, if we have a money issue, it might be Martinelli, but Arsenal want to keep Martinelli and the player wants to stay at Arsenal. He doesn't really want to go to Saudi Arabia. And Fabrizio's told us that the Saudi Arabia team, Al Nassr, are not really going to push for Martinelli that hard with that much money. So if it's not going to be Martinelli, we can't have 5-6 wingers, There's no way we can have Madueke and still have Eze who can play, then still have Martinelli and still have Trossard and still have Saka on the other side and Nwaneri and still talk about Rodrygo and still keep Trossard. You can't have 6-7 players in one position. So there's definitely someone who's going to be sacrificed, and it might be Trossard. So they're talking about 20 million euros. I feel like that is too little. but again, he's over 30 years of age, 1 year remaining on his contract. I wish we could get at least the same money that we paid for him, around 25 million. But it might be less than 20 million unless Arsenal reject it. He's a very clutch player. Off the bench, you want a player like Trossard to come on and get the job done for you. But last season, obviously, it was a poor season for most of our players. Trossard, Martinelli, Odegaard is a poor season. So someone else could easily have been sacrificed, to be honest. It could be anyone. If you're going according to the form that people had last season, any of those players could have been sold. But yeah, Trossard, obviously, because of the age and the contract expiring soon, I think they would want to cash in on him. Unless you give Trossard a contract today, you're either going to sell him today or getting on a new contract or lose him for free next summer. So either you give him a new contract right now, 1 year or 2 more years, or you sell him today. If not, he goes for free next season. Simple as that. So that's the latest on Trossard. Let's see what happens with that. Now, just a quick one on Gabriel Heinze. Eisen Khan says Arsenal's new coach, Gabriel Heinze, is obsessive in his approach. At Newell's Old Boys, he would weigh his players twice a day while sending them assignments via WhatsApp and would punish those who didn't know what to do in training. So yesterday I told you guys that Gabriel Heinze is obviously not a joke. He's probably going to get a couple of yellow cards like I saw on the bench because he doesn't want to lose. He's always, talking about every single decision is there, telling his players do this and that. So you're going to see him. Let's just say you're definitely going to see him. You see Gabriel Heinze on the pitch. You're not going to finish a game without seeing Gabriel Heinze. And this as well. Now, some players are not going to like that. Some fans are saying that is great. Let's push the players even more. But obviously, again, it depends. Maybe some players would like that. So you'll find maybe a player like Declan Rice loves that. The approach from someone like a Heinze, but you'll find a different player does not like that, all the assignments and all of that. I've had a lot of players falling out with assistant managers over the years now. Acha is the manager, so he's the one that is going to be in charge, obviously, not Gabriel Heinze, but it's going to be interesting to see how our third coach in Heinze is going to fit in at Arsenal and how strict it's going to be and how quickly it's going to maybe. Is he going to improve the mentality? Is our players going to like him? All that going to be very interesting. So that's the latest in terms of what has been happening in the last couple of hours. Again, let's continue hoping that we do get a breakthrough on Gyokeres. And today we obviously announced Christian Nogard from Brentford. So that one is done. That is our third signing complete. Let's hope we can get the fourth one and fifth ones as soon as possible. There's nothing from Chelsea yet after making their 40 million plus 10 million bid on Rodrygo. They haven't said anything yet. So we await to see what Chelsea's decision is going to be. Obviously, they have a final this weekend. So we might actually have to wait until next week after Chelsea play that game on Sunday. So there's now still another 3 days before we get to that point. Mosquera made the first bid. Let's wait and see whether we're going to make a second bid. So that is the latest. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.